Good afternoon, artists. Today we're going to talk about lines that make shapes. And we're going to create a picture of our name. Hopefully we're going to use block letters or some kind of bubble letters. They're shapes. And then we're going to use lines that touch our letters and the edge of the paper to create shapes in the background. So you can see how this line comes down, this line comes down, and then when those lines touch other lines, they create shapes. So see the shape back here in the background? And then we'll talk about what we're going to do with those shapes next time. This is what you should have by the end of your art this week. Your name with bubble letters or block letters, your letters that basically look like shapes, and then lines connecting to the edge of the paper to make shapes in the background. Be creative with those lines. Do some zigzag lines, do some curved lines, do some wavy lines, all different kinds of lines, stair lines, curved. I like these loop-de-loop lines. Have at least 5 different kinds of lines in the background. You can use diagonal and straight, but don't make them all that way. So by the end of your art this week, you should have something like this. But what I want to talk to you right now about is making bubble letters. Some of us still struggle with that. So I want to give you some easy ways to do it. If you don't know how to make block or bubble letters like this, an easy way to do it is to start just by making the letter. Then what you can do, and draw it lightly with pencil because you're going to want to erase those lines because again we want to make a shape. But now what I can do is I can outline that line of my letter. This would be more of a block letter because I'm making all of the lines straight edges. So there's a block letter K. Then I would just take my eraser and I would erase that pencil line. And voila, I have a block letter. So that's a really easy way to do a block letter. If you want to do more rounded edges here instead of a straight 90-degree edge, again, you're going to trace your letter. And then when you get to an end or a point, you're just going to round it or curve it instead of making it straight, like this. And then the inside of the letter, you want to outline that also. Okay? And then again, I will take my eraser and I will erase that pencil line. So what I want you to do is just spend 15-20 minutes today practicing making block or bubble letters. If it's easy for you to draw your letter first and then trace it, please do it that way. If you feel pretty comfortable making block letters, then go ahead and just practice. You're just using a scratch piece of paper and you're just practicing making block or bubble letters. Just do whatever letters you like to practice. It doesn't even have to say anything. You may do whatever letters you like. I just want you guys to practice that. Practice doing your name. Then once you feel comfortable doing your name, then you're going to take your good piece of drawing paper and do your name. But are you going to do your name small like this? No way, Jose. You want to fill the page. You want your art to look interesting, so make sure your name fills the page. Then put those lines all the way from your letters off the edge of the paper. Again, artists want their artwork or the composition to look interesting. So if I have a really small name here, and then just some lines that do this, first of all, that's not very interesting to look at. It's not filling the paper. So fill your paper. All right, have fun, artists, making block or bubble letters. And yes, they can touch each other if you want them to touch. So you could even do letters that overlap or touch one another. That is perfectly fine. Just make sure those letters fill the page, and then you have lines going to the edge. All right, have fun this week, artists, making your name using bubble letters. You're turning your name into a shape, different shapes. All right, see you later, artists.